Here's Johnny, and he's not a happy chappy at all, believe me. Hi guys, welcome to another video. Hope you're all keeping well. Now in this video I'd just like to depart from talking about horror movies for the moment and concentrate on talking about horror literature. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to talk about my top 5 Stephen King novels. Now obviously Stephen King is a very prolific writer and he's written many novels and short stories over the years, but out of all the novels he's written and out of all the novels in my collection, the ones I'm going to show you are the main ones, the top 5 Stephen King. You know, if it was really pushed to nominate the top 5, it would definitely be these. So without further ado guys, we'll just get on to number 5. And number 5 is his first novel, Carrie. Oh yeah, fantastic story about Carrie White, you know, the girl with telepathic powers. First published in 1974, and yeah, absolutely love this story. Yeah, Stephen King's debut and that, you know, yeah. I love the movie as well. I actually love the 2 movies. You know, the one that was made a couple of years after the novel that starred Sissy Spacek, and then the remake, you know, a good few years further on, and I've got both of them in my collection. But this is an absolutely fantastic story, this, and I like the way it's written as well. It's written in like sort of like you know, like newspaper reports and that, you know. Yeah, it's a real good, it's a short novel, granted, and that, but yeah, fantastic. Yeah, Stephen King really, he was really on the money when he wrote and published this novel and that, you know. Yeah, this was the novel that got him on the road to fame, guys. You know, Carrie. Yeah. So yeah, so that's number 5, Carrie by Stephen King. Number 4 is fantastic horror story by King, Pet Sematary. Yeah. Now this, I think Stephen King himself described this as one of the hardest books he ever wrote, and that, you know, with, you know, dealing with like you know, death, like, and resurrection and that, you know. Yeah. Oh yeah, very creepy novel. Yes. Yeah. Pet Sematary. Yeah. First published in 1983, and I've had this edition quite some years. As you see, it's well read. Yeah. Fantastic story. Yeah. Dealing all about, like, you know, this the couple, like, you know, and that you know, they move to this to this Indian burial ground and that, you know. Yeah, but I don't want to go on too much about it, you know, in case you haven't read the novel. Yeah, or this is a real good creepy supernatural story and that, you know. Yeah, dealing with like you know, life and death, like the resurrection and that, you know. Yeah, and oh yeah, highly recommend Pet Sematary, guys. Yeah, Stephen King at his very best, very dark story. Yeah, but one that would highly, as I say, highly recommend it. You know, you get yourself a copy and have a read of. Yeah, so that's number 4. That is Pet Sematary. Number 3 on my list of top 5 Stephen King novels is an old classic, and that is Misery. Yeah. This is again another fantastic story by Stephen King. Yeah, all about the writer and that, you know. He has an accident in the snow and that, you know, and this crazed nurse Annie Wilkes, you know, takes him home and that, looks after him and that, you know, and very psychotic character Annie Wilkes and that. Yeah, read this novel many times and that, you know. Yeah, real creepy story. Yeah, oh yeah, fantastic story, Misery. First published in 1987, and oh yeah, like it's very claustrophobic story and that, you know. I mean, like, this character Annie Wilkes, you don't know what, 1 minute she's all right with him, she's very genial, very friendly and that, but once she learns that he's killed off her favourite character, all hell breaks loose, guys, and that, you know. And the poor guy's literally fighting for his life, you know, cooped up and that, you know. He's disabled and that from his accidents and that, you know, and he's cooped up with Annie Wilkes and that in this cottage in the wilderness and that. Yeah, but I don't want to go on too much more about it, you know, just in case you haven't read the story. But yeah, this is a fantastic story, Misery. I think this is one of Stephen King's best stories, Misery. Yeah. So from 1987, that's number 3 on my top 5 Stephen King list, Misery. Number 2 is another classic, The Shining. Yeah, now I don't really need to say too much about this story, guys, because it's a very highly regarded story, both by Stephen King fans and also by horror aficionados. Yeah, fantastic story about like this creepy hotel and that, you know. Yeah, and the caretaker and that, you know, like he has to go and look after it, like, you know, like during the winter and that, you know. Very again, like Misery, very claustrophobic story and that, you know. Yeah, and oh yeah, real haunted hotel, the Overlook Hotel. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's a fantastic story. Yeah, and I love the characters as well. You know, the little boy like Danny, like with the, you know, with the Shining, the gift and that, you know, and the way King describes the hotel and that, you know, and you know, the ghosts and that, you know. Oh yeah, and I love the movie as well with Jack Nicholson. I know Stephen King wasn't too keen on that movie because he didn't like the way the Jack Nicholson character, he was portrayed. He seemed to be a little bit mad before he went to the hotel. Yeah, yeah. But that failing aside, I still love the movie The Shining. I also like the remake as well with Rebecca De Mornay that was made. Like I think it was not it was the mid-90s. I think it was made. Yeah, that's quite good as well. Yeah, yeah. But getting back to this, guys. Yeah, my second favourite Stephen King novel. Read this many times, and that, you know, yeah, the best haunted hotel story I've ever read in my life. Yeah, The Shining, absolute classic. Yeah. So there you go. That's The Shining, and that's from 1977. And number one on my list. What can I say about this novel, guys? I could sit here all afternoon uttering superlatives about this. And my number one Stephen King novel is, wait for it, Salem's Lost. Oh, classic story of modern day vampirism and that, you know, yeah. And the character in this, Barlow, oh, he's so reminiscent of the Prince of Darkness, Dracula. The way he sort of, like, you know, invades this small town and that, you know, yeah. And wipes everybody out, turns them all into vampires and that, you know, yeah. And I love the protagonist in it as well, and that, you know, the writer and that, you know, Benjamin Mears. And you know, or the way King describes, you know, the way the vampires take over the town and that, you know, yeah, real edge of the seat stuff, yeah. And yeah, I think King himself once referred to this novel as a, you know, Dracula in Peyton Place, like Dracula in modern day America, and that is a certainly opposite description, guys. This is a fantastic horror novel, Salem's Lost. I love the TV series as well with David Soul. I've got that on DVD. Oh yeah, but this is, oh yeah, what King's best, in my opinion, King's best ever novel, Salem's Lost. Yeah, always love a good vampire story. Me all-time favourite horror, you know, vampire novel is Dracula by Bram Stoker, and this comes very close, guys, to that novel, Salem's Lost. Yeah, yeah, always, it's got atmosphere. It's got you know, tension. The characters are good. You know, and I love, like, that's to say, you know, the main protagonists and that, you know, and the villains and that, you know. And oh yeah, Barlow's a really creepy, terrifying vampire. Yeah. In the novel, he's more like a Dracula character, because he's normal. He hasn't got like the Nosferatu look of the David Soul movie, but all the more terrifying and that for that and that, you know, he slurks around in the darkness and that, you know, and he's very reminiscent of Dracula, you know. But yeah, love both. I love the novel and I love the TV series. Yeah. So yeah, so that's my number one. That's my number one Stephen King novel. On my top five all-time favourite Stephen King novels, and that is Salem's Lost. Yeah, fantastic story. Yeah, and that is from 1975. Yeah. So there you go, guys. Just to recap: number 5, Carrie. Number 4, Pet Sematary. Number 3, Misery. Number 2, The Shining. And number 1, the fantastic, terrifying Salem's Lost. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video of all-time top 5 Stephen King novels. Obviously, as I say, he's a very prolific writer, very popular, written loads and loads of novels over the years, but they're the ones, guys, they're the top 5, you know, the ones I've read most and that, you know, gone back to again and again and that, you know, yeah. Yeah. Are you a Stephen King fan? Leave your comments down below. What's your favourite Stephen King novels, your all-time top 5, yeah? Love to hear your comments on that, you know, yeah. Stephen King's been a great influence on me as a horror writer, as no doubt he's most probably has with countless other horror writers and that, yeah. I love the way he builds the characters up and that, makes them very realistic and that, you know, yeah. And then he just hits the reader then with the horror, yeah. But they're classics, those guys, yeah. Absolute classics, yeah. Okay, guys, yeah. Okay, well, yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, yeah. And as I say, if you like Stephen King, please feel free to leave your comments down below and that, yeah. Stay safe, and all going well. I'll see you all next video. Thanks, guys.